like when they came off the turn there, they got a little wide. Senna trying to hold on to it. Hillbilly just gets too outside there, catches the grass. Very unfortunate right there.
Unfortunate. Good racing though by both men trying to stay in there and hold their lines. That was some good driving on both guys' parts.
We're riding the rear view camera right now.
Might make the attempt.
Sir Lagalot working on Senna. Hillbilly recovering. Boquet to the inside of Hillbilly. Boquet will take over the 10th position.
They'll take 9th because Lagalot hits the pit as well.
So Boquet now moving up another position after passing SSR Hillbilly. We're going to move up further. We're going to see how Vettel's been doing. Vettel has just been running away. And we'll pull up the race map here. You can see where Vettel is from second place. Now, you see the first dot on the bottom left corner of the screen for those of you watching. That is where Vettel's at. He's right now on the hairpin going to the back straightaway following him. Erik Servi is moving, though. He is up to second now, guys. And he is flying through this race so far. We're on lap 13 of 44, and he is coming hard. Right now, he currently holds the fastest lap on the track for 120.6. So he is moving, Izzy, and he is coming hard. Not happy with his qualifying during the week. And right now, he's showing that, you know, he should have been higher up, and he is moving along quickly.
He started 9th, Mayhem, and we are getting on to lap 14. So in 7 laps, every lap he's averaged 2 passes. He is moving, and he's on a mission to show. I think he's on a mission to show Vettel up here that he's faster. I think that's what's going on right now. Katie has moved up as well, as she's in 7th here in the Nismo, and doing solid, I have to say. Smooth, following carts on the bumper. These guys are kind of spaced out, though. It seems like the pit strategy has spaced a lot of them out. And
well, we'll see what happens as Sparky now currently right on the back bumper of Eternium. And Sparky has had a kind of a quiet race, but he's been moving along just as well, and he's trying to pick off another position as him and ITI Eternium are currently going to battle here for the 3rd spot.
he's also running a Jaguar there, Sparky, and Eternium is in the Jaguar. It just seems like the Jaguar... Vettel's in a Continental, though, out front, which is the only Continental in the lobby. I wonder if that has something to do with why he's out there running up front.
So right now, Sparky's still working on Eternium here for the 3rd spot.
Boberts and Markey are close to each other, but the battles are really spaced out right now. These guys are, I think the pit strategy everyone's been running has definitely unstacked the field.
Right now, Eternium getting a little bit of an advantage coming off the final, or I should say the hairpin back there. We'll keep an eye on these two, see what they're up to. And Katie's still right behind Karts there.
She's holding on to this position. She's not letting him go.
And Markey getting passed by Bobbers. Bobbers was behind Markey, and now Bobbers moving up another position here. As we get close to the midway point of the race, and so far, it's been nothing but a good one up to this point. And I mean, we've seen battles all over right now, and you know, a lot of really good driving out there. And the one that, you know, we've been keeping an eye on a couple of these drivers, and you know, Serbi's moving fast. He's coming. I wonder if he's got enough time. I mean, there's plenty of time to get there, but You got to wonder where he's at and Aerox Merc and McQueen are at right now, because they did make earlier pits in the race. You got to wonder where he might come out at when he does decide to pit in this race.
Well, knowing what his strategy is with Survey, because he is last year's winner of the series, he's probably got some little tricks up his sleeve. Like I feel like he has a chance to get Vettel, but he can't make mistakes. He has to stay smooth. He has to keep it going the way he's going, because he slowly but surely he is catching his teammate who is in first. Who's once Vettel got up there, though, he is maintained first and started walking away with it. But you got to wonder too, Sparky and Eternium, how are they going to shake things up? Because they're right behind Survey. They're not far off. And Boquette is climbing up the pack as well. But Hillbilly is on Boquette right now, going into turn 1. This ought to be a good battle right here with Hillbilly.
So we're going to go check that battle out as Hillbilly is going to battle against Aerox Boquette. And Boquette currently up to 8th now.
Yeah, he's been Hillbilly spun his tires back there, and the short little S's coming out of 2. But he is there. He is putting the pressure on Boquette. What did Hillbilly pick? What car is he on? The Jag as well? That car is just a straight monster on the straights. And Hillbilly takes that position from Boquette. You gotta think the M8 is probably getting him into turns, but that Jaguar it's impressive.
So right now, this battle's still going on, and Boquette and Hillbilly going back and forth these last couple of laps, and it's been a good one. I mean, Boquette's right back on him again.
It's been fun to watch.
And you know, the M8 has the least amount of straight line speed out of most of these cars on the track right now. I think the most relatable car to it would probably be SSR Katie in that Nismo. So when it comes to straight line speed, those are probably at the biggest disadvantage on the track, but they're making it work. And right now, as you can see, Boquette's putting the pressure on Hillbilly still.
If he puts enough pressure on that Jaguar, he could possibly make him push the turn and spin the tires and get that M8 to do what it does best, and that's drive the turn a lot faster, especially when you're spinning them tires. He's just smooth with that M8. The Hillbilly is definitely keeping it calm in the turns, not overdriving it and pointing it straight and pulling the trigger.
And Hillbilly getting a little bit squirrely as he gets a little bit clippery with that, clippery. What a word. As he clips the grass there.
Ooh, he pushed it wide. The Jaguar doing the thing that it does best is spinning the turns. But they're still battling. Like, even that little hiccup by Hillbilly, he's still right there to put the pressure on Boquette and not let him get away.
We'll pull up the race map to see how the rest of the field's looking, and Aerox Breeze is currently in a little bit of a red territory right now as his teammate Vettel, the race leader, starting to put that pressure on as he is right there getting ready to put his teammate a lap down. And, you know, Vettel still has to make a pit stop, obviously, as many others do, but Breeze has had nothing but a rough race since the beginning. And you got to wonder what's going through his mind right now as we get to the midway point of the race, as he's probably going to have to make another pit stop. And he does. He's going into the pits. Aerox Breeze making another pit stop.
That's a bummer.
This should be his final pit stop of the race. So very unfortunate for Breeze as he comes off of a win last week. Not the way you
dominating win at that. Right.
It's just something you don't want to see a driver get. None of the drivers in the field, you don't want to see no disconnection. You don't want to see them struggling. It's just one of those things. And Aerox Merc now sets the new fastest time of a 1:20.5 on the track. So Merc moving along as well. We'll see where he's at right now. As him and McQueen earlier were going to battle, but Merc is all the way back in 16th at this point. Not sure what's going on with the pole sitter.
Hillbilly and Aerox are done, or Boquet are done battling, because Boquet took a pit and right Aerox Breeze come out, and there's almost some collision action.
We'll see what Boquet does here as he's coming out of the pits. He's currently in 12th. Will he hold it as Senna and Sir Lagalot are coming right around the bend? And he's going to hold on, but Senna looks to the inside, going off of turn number 2.
This is interesting back here as I ride on the back with Sir Lagalot, who I thought was going to make some moves and get up through the field by now. It's a shame here not climbed forward yet, because he was definitely shaking it up and moving earlier in the track.
So right now we got a 3-car battle for 12th. Senna all over the back bumper of Boquet, as Boquet trying to survive after coming out of the pits with some cold tires. He's got him and Sir Lagalot. Look at this. Senna to the outside on the hairpin. Boquet down low. And look at that. Sir Lagalot goes to the inside. And none of them can get around Boquet there. And they all three were... Oh, look at this. Senna to the outside again. Oh, and it looks like someone might have disconnected out of the race because the screen has gone black. So just hold on with this momentarily.
Oh, no.
Not sure what happened there. And it looks like THR Sparky has disconnected from the race, and that is unfortunate as he was running so well.
He was doing so good in this race, too. That's a shame. Marky's making us battle 4 at a certain point as he is putting the pressure on Sir Lagalot, who then puts the pressure on Boquet, who in turn puts the pressure on Senna. So it seems like a 4-way battle with Aerox Merc closing it up back here as well. So 11 through 15, the cars could be only a couple hundred feet apart, it looks like.
And look at this, Lagalot looking on the inside, nothing there. Boquet holds it to the outside just a little bit. Sir Lagalot gets a little loose off the corner. Now Marky right on the back bumper of him as well.
Marky, oh my.
Marky qualified up inside the top 5. I believe he was the 3rd fastest qualifier. Back in 14th right now. He's got Aerox Merc right behind
making
him.
That pass on the inside.
And look at that. Marky goes to the inside. Side by side with Sir Lagalot as they prepare to go to the kink here.
Marky pushed a bit hard into the grass. Merc is there to put the pressure on Marky now. This is definitely heating up back here. 11th all the way back to 15th is definitely heating up. Very into the pack, tail end of the field.
1 car lap down right now is Aerox Breeze. Just not having the race he won, so it's very unfortunate for him today, as right now this battle between 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th are going at it, and we're not going to go anywhere anytime soon. But look at this, Boquet now putting the pressure on Senna.
Marky is driving the wheels off this car and cannot get around Sir Lagalot one bit. He is there putting the pressure on, and Sir Lagalot is just composed. I feel like Aerox Merc is going to put some pressure on here soon if these two heat it up and get a little too much into each other with some wheel spin. That was a risky pass by Marky as he takes the hairpin pass. Merc is definitely there waiting on Sir Lagalot, but Marky was definitely like, I'm going by you this time. You're not holding me up on this straight. You gotta wonder what's going through Sir Lagalot's head right now, too. As he's,
oh, look at that. Merc
getting past. This is a good race this weekend, Mayhem.
It certainly is. Last week, no exception as well. It was phenomenal as this week has offered the same type of racing as last week. That's Merc to the inside of Sir Lag-A-Lot now. Side by side, can Merc hold on to it as he goes to the outside? Ah, ooh, he did. Look at this.
They are still side by side.
And Merc cuts right in.
Oh my, Merc.
Just like that, Merc takes that position away from Sir Lag-A-Lot, and he's now going to go back on his mission to get right behind Mark and see if he can do some work.
It's just amazing watching Merc dive so late into the turn and then just get within just a few feet, it feels like. He's just so far back and he can just get so deep into the turn.
Aerox Serby has made a pit stop as well, and he is right behind Aerox McQueen about a turn, maybe 2/3 of a turn. So we'll keep an eye on that as well, as we know he's been on a mission. Katie starting to lose ground on carts. And a guy we haven't really talked about at all in this race, Zombie Gutkill last week had to leave a little early during the race with a disconnect. Currently in the 3rd position right now, qualified about mid-pack.
Been under the radar the entire race. That means he's been consistently smooth, and you know he hasn't been making mistakes. It seems like he's been able to run clean the entire time. His car does not seem dinged up. No dents, no scrapes. He's got a little rear-ended a bit, but his car, other than that, looks clean. He's been running a pretty clean race, it seems. SSR Katie has entered the pits.
And this is a lot better of a race for her this week than it was last week. Last week, she's made so many mistakes, and she was really upset with her results late in the race. And talking to her afterwards, she said, I just couldn't keep the car consistent. I was pushing too hard. Tonight, she's been very consistent, and it looks like she's very comfortable in that car, guys.
That's definitely good to see from her, because she was also a car that was uniquely different in the race last week. The only Nismo here tonight. And you can see that the #1 car is here too, as he runs around dominantly Vettel in that Continental GT3. That thing is just smoking the competition tonight. Eternium is holding on to 2nd, but I don't think he's making any ground. But he is pulling on the pack as well. That's back there in 2nd, and back there in 3rd and 4th.
It looks like Serby's starting to gain a little bit of ground on McQueen. And Hillbilly currently in 5th. You know he's got to make one pit stop here soon. He's got Aerox Breeze currently a lap down right behind him, just trying to see what he can pull off here. 18 laps to go. For you guys down in the chat, who do you got? It's been nothing but a wild race. Do you think Vettel's ran away with it yet? Or do you think there's still a story to be told? Let us know what your thoughts are. But right now, I got to ask you, Izzy, who are you keeping an eye on? Who's impressed you so far in this race up to this point? And who do you have coming out on top at the end of this race?
Well, from what I've seen, Katie, she's impressing me being in a Nismo and being the only car out there doing what she's doing, especially after last week. Seeing her performance as well as she's doing, that is great to see. I'm kind of surprised to see the Continental out front being as dominant as it is, but maybe I just don't understand how powerful this car is. And he's out there, I think, gonna take the win, because in similar fashion, once Breeze got out there last week and was comfortable driving, nobody could catch up to him until like the last 10 laps. But Eternium, he is he's definitely trying to knock on that door.
And right now, I'm riding along with Mech Senna right in front of him. It looks like SSR Nicole and Hillbilly are battling it out for the 9th position. So we're going to ride along with Nicole here as they get up to the hairpin. Nicole to the outside. Hillbilly goes down low. He'll go right underneath her, and he'll take over that position. And we got a couple guys down the chat. Sloth.
Aerox or OD. Yeah.
But right now, Nicole dropping back. You know what? And the thing about Nicole, oh, look at that! Hillbilly's off the track!
Oh, no.
So Nicole will retake the position.
Is Senna going to take advantage? Oh my gosh. That's a shame for Hillbilly.
And Hillbilly
right there,
loses 4 positions. He lost 4 positions on that. And look at this
see
pack.
That door open as a racer?
Look
so
at
we have
this
Sir
group.
Laggle, Markey, Hillbilly, Boquet, Merck, and Senna all packed up at the very back here, 10th through 15th.
And what a group this is. I mean, these guys, we talked about these guys probably back at lap number like 22, 17, somewhere between lap 17 and 22, and they have not broken up since. And we thought, at least I thought that the pack would probably spread itself out. We'd probably see a couple of one-on-one battles, but we've seen packed battles, and it has been nothing but exciting. And I have been nothing but thrilled to watch this.
It's not been the same packs either. Like the packs there's been multiple packs of racers, multiple bands, like 2 bands, 3 bands, 5 racers. It's just, even though First is out there running away with it, he is enjoying himself, I'm sure. But these guys back here are sweating. They are sweating for the positions they are in, and it is exciting to watch.
And right now we're riding along with Aerox Merck once again, and Merck having a really, really rough race. He was the pole sitter, ran a beautiful time, was out front for a split second, lost to Vettel, made an early pit with McQueen, had a little bit of instance before that, and he's back here in 11th, and it's not where he would like to be right now.
No, and seeing him make that mistake earlier where he drove off the track, I thought just something happened. And then I just got to wonder what's going on. Is he shook up right now? Like, it just seems like he's going on to him.
So
a good ride along with Merck. And
we've been riding along with Merck. Merck's been on a mission to get back inside the top 10, and he's working on 10th place Senna right now. Senna, who's almost catching up to Nicole now. Oh, look at this, Merck!
Ooh,
a little bit of a
wow.
dive there. Not sure if he meant to do that. Got a little bit late on the brakes.
It looked like a lockup.
It looked like Senna just was hanging on. Not too much. It didn't seem like too big of an impact, but enough of an impact that you can kind of see, like, hey, man, I'm right here. I'm sorry about that. Not what you want to see. And we also got to point out there that Merck's about 14 years of age, and he's got a lot of time to grow as a driver, and he's doing a great job of what he's doing right now. So you can't give him any leeway whatsoever. But he's quick, he's fast. I think in a couple of years we'll definitely see him in the Forza RCs.
This is definitely a situation though where you can see his age and experience are probably coming to play. Because, like you said, pole starting, some things happen to him in a race. He's got to put those turns behind him because he's got the speed, he's got the talent. He's just got to pick his way through the pack here and put himself in the right positions. He's definitely trying to make the moves there on Senna as I sit here with Nicole and watch from behind.
Oh, he's trying to squeeze it. And look at this pack.
That is a convoy.
Look at this pack. It's ridiculous. And his teammate, Aerox Boquet, also getting in the mix. Boquet's been trying to get around Senna for so many laps. He's right there. And look at that, Markey way wide at the hairpin. 3 wide coming out of the hair.
I'm riding with Nicole watching this, and these guys are racing. They are not messing around. Aerox Merck put himself in the right place, like I was saying, and ball back, and
Markey!
He's going to whittle that track
Not Markey,
down.
that's not Markey. Look at that. It was Hillbilly that was losing control there at the end. Hillbilly is just struggling in this race.
This is a track I feel though that if you get a little shook up on in certain spots and you just get frustrated, it can unwind you, unnerve you. Oh no, Merck! Oh, I thought he's there the way he tapped into it. He's got the runs. He's just got to place himself in the right spot to not wreck anyone, to not push him wide. And
this pack is still with one another. It's amazing that they've kept pretty much kept it up to this point. I mean, they have been battling. And
Nicole
we got a battle
was
here.
good on that run.
Merck,
But that...
look at that. Merck got up inside the top 10 now.
Great. That was a great turn right there.
Look at the race map here and see how the race lead's doing, and McQueen
Wow, look
starting
at this.
to gain a little bit of ground on Vettel. Looks like they have finally made their pit stops. We'll check what they're up to, but right now it's hard to leave this battle right now in the back of the pack. There's just so much going on.
Alright. So it seems like Merck has finally gotten around Nicole here. I was flipping through the field looking at people, and it seems like Vettel's gonna run away with it, but McQueen, I don't know. He's on a mission. Look at this.
And look at this,
He is
Markey to the
really-
inside. Senna side by side. Markey just squeezes on through there, through the hairpin, and he'll move up to P11 now as he tracks down his teammate, SSR Nicole. And Nicole's somebody that we really haven't talked about. She's been very consistent in the first 2 weeks of these races. Last week ran very consistent, finished top 10, finished 10th. And then now she's currently in the 10th position, trying to hold on to get another top 10. And she's running a very consistent race, but has been very quiet as well most of the time.
Yes, but that seems about normal from what I've seen of her racing last week too. She keeps us out of traffic. Usually I find her in situations where one person's passing her and she's forcing the pack to stay, behind her while one person struggles to get through it to battle her one-on-one.
And here we go, Senna working on Markey as Markey's trying to work on Nicole here, but Nicole getting a little bit away. Excuse me, a little bit away there as Markey kind of slipped up back in that section. And here he is, right on the back right. He looks to the outside. Can he hold it? Tries to do a little bit of a cut back here. You see him goes to the inside. Can they hold it? We saw this earlier with Senna and Hillbilly, and they tapped to go wide. And look at that, 2 people passing up Nicole. Senna follows right behind Markey, and now that'll put Nicole back in 12th position. And Hillbilly and Sir Lagalot working on Nicole now as well. And I would like to give a shout out to the Six Brewing Company for showcasing this race out in Toronto, Canada. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you don't know, Izzy, some of our friends from the MEA staff in their place of work has showcased this race at their company. And once again, that's a shout out to the Six Brewing Company down there in Toronto, Canada. So I hope you guys are enjoying the live action. And going back to the racing action now, we see Markey and Senna have passed Nicole. Now Hillbilly's passed Nicole as well. Now Nicole's pretty much playing defense up to this point as Sir Lagalot goes to the inside.
This battle between this pack of racers has been probably some of the best racing in the race. Like, these guys have went back and forth, changed positions so many times. You gotta wonder what happened to Hillbilly there as he went off the track. Or did he just overdrive the car?
Hillbilly's just been having a lot of problems all race long. He's been having a hard time holding on to the car.
Yeah.
He had limited practice this week. He qualified, didn't know if he was going to make the race, made the race. But look at this, Nicole trying to battle back with Sir Lagalot.
Not sure what happened there. It looked like lag between Boquet and Hillbilly as they were battling with each other back here. Boquet got out of it and just let Hillbilly go. It looks like Vettel's gonna run away with this race. He is not letting McQueen catch him.
as this back group starts falling apart. We're going to move up a little further here as Senna still works on Markey. And with 10 laps to go, we're going to have to start looking towards the front of the pack. Markey trying to hang on.
He got wild.
Zombie gut killing Cards back in 6 and 7. Zombie, like we said before, and Cards pretty much have had a quiet race up to this point, so they're doing really well. Katie back there in 8th, moving up the pack in 5th. SSR Bobber's right behind Eternium, about a half a turn length. Aerox Serbian 3rd, McQueen 2nd. Vettel has led every lap of this race so far.
That's amazing. He got out there and he's been holding on to a Continental. Everybody else picked a Jaguar, yet the Continental has led every single lap, and it placed 2nd on qualifiers. It was a full 2/10 slower than Mert's Jaguar qualification time.
All right, now Hillbilly working on Nicole again, and Hillbilly's been struggling to really keep his car consistent here tonight. Boquet as well. We saw slight signs of life with Boquet, and he just hasn't seemed to be really responding too much. It seems to be, for a couple of these drivers tonight, it seems like they've been going back and forth with consistency, slipping up, making little mistakes, and it's showing as Boquet's now appearing in the picture between Nicole and Hillbilly.
As you sit there and race with each other and try your different spots that you're going to attack, you don't realize that the other people are moving up on you, and if you get too tunnel vision, battling one person, not thinking about the people behind you, you can lose a position by being too greedy for one position. You could lose 4 positions like we seen in the race earlier when things got dicey in the pack at the back.
We'll come back to this battle back here. We're going to see how Vettel has been doing. He's been really, really consistent this whole race, but I do see a little figure in the background, and that is McQueen.
So I'm looking at their qualification times here, Mayhem. McQueen and Vettel's qualification times are 0.06 of a second difference. The cars are almost when it comes to time around the track. It's all about who's making the fewest mistakes here.
Just riding along with Vettel for just a little bit here as we get to see how, we haven't got to see a whole lot of him. He's been he's pretty much left as soon as he got the lead.
That Continental sounds good though, I'll tell you what.
Get an on-ride camera for a lap with him to see how he's going through the track, going through the motions. Running really smooth lines. You see right behind him, not too far in the distance, Aerox McQueen. And it looks like McQueen's got some company.
Yeah, it looks like Serby's
and he does.
catching up.
Serby. And here comes Serby. We talked about this earlier. He was on a mission since the start of the race, and he is creeping up.
Wow, he is just...
And there he goes to 2nd. Serby is on a mission. Can Serby pull this off with 7 laps to go? I don't know about you. I don't know if there's enough time for Serby to run Vettel down at this point.
I'm not counting anything out. Serby has been in that car as hard as he can, and this is going to be fun to watch. If he could actually catch up to him and put the pressure on Vettel, all it takes is one pass on the last lap, then go across that finish line. And all them lead laps, what were they for?
see what McQueen's going through. He's kind of fallen off quite a bit here. McQueen looks like everything's fine.
I don't wonder if he's damaged.
There's nothing showing he has damage. His tire wear is at 80% though right now. Now, if we do remember, him and Merck both made pit stops early in this race, and he is down to 15% fuel. I don't know if that's enough to get around the rest of this race. He's going to be cutting it really close.
That is cutting it close.
And he might be fuel saving right now. He might realize that he possibly doesn't have enough fuel to finish this race out. And Eternium right now working on McQueen. And this just in. C Lobby winner BM Knox will win at Homestead. That is CM Knox winning C Lobby.
Good job there, BM Knox.
And also in K-Man F1 winning the D lobby. So 2 lobbies over with. Just waiting in on the B lobby results, and they're probably have a few laps to go as well, so we'll be getting told how that's been going on. And look at this, Eternium working on, and you see in the back of Eternium, Bobberts is now working on Eternium with McQueen in front. Looks like Bobberts are a little bit loose coming off the turn. We've got another battle brewing right now. Zombie Gut Kill back in 6th and 7th. Not going to ride along with that crew just yet.
There. Happening on the track this late in the race. Oh, what is?
And it looks like somebody might have lagged out. And it did. Aerox Servi has lagged out of the race with 4 laps to go.
No!
That is horrible news. Wow.
That is a heartbreaker.
Servi was on a mission, and with 4 laps left, he has been disconnected from the race. What? That is an Eternium to the inside.
That hurts.
And you gotta feel for him at this point. I mean, he literally ran everybody down, and to end it like that, that's just something you don't want to see. Once again, that's the third driver disconnect of the night. So after Servi's big mission, it comes to an end with 4 laps to go, and that's just heartbreaking.
I mean, it's heartbreaking for him, but it's kind of bittersweet for McQueen, is it not? As his tires are wearing down, this race is coming to an end, 9% fuel. I don't know if he's going to make it 4 laps here, Mayhem. This might be all for naught, to be real with you.
Eternium's good to go.
Bobberts are back there, too. Waiting for that pit, because you know he's going to have to pit, Mayhem.
So McQueen tried to save fuel as long as he could, and it looks like he'll be having to make a pit stop here. Now he's staying out on the track. It's something else. Okay, there's Bobberts. Wow, look at that. He goes from behind to the outside. Now he goes down low, going into turn 1.
Oh my, oh my.
Bobberts to the inside.
Eternium just give it to him, just said, hey, I'm going way too hard this turn. He tried to stay with him. You gotta think that Bobberts here knows that McQueen here is struggling with the car at the moment. It's just amazing to watch these guys drive, using traction control as they wrestle that car to the turns.
And McQueen off the track just a little bit there. Bobberts staying down low.
Man, you got to think that
6% fuel.
McQueen is at 6%.
3 laps to go. Can McQueen save? I just don't see it happen. I see him. He's probably going to pit now for the next lap. And he's staying out.
He's staying out. 2 more to go. 5% fuel. This is heating up.
And once again, if you're just tuning in, this is week 2 of the MEA GT Championship Series. I'm SSR Mayhem, and with my partner Izzy as we finish the final 2 laps of this race here at Homestead in the A lobby, as we've had a very eventful race up to this point. We've had 3 disconnects. They're all very disheartening. Obviously, it's not something you want to see. Serby, who started 9th, got all the way up to 2nd with 4 laps to go.
Boberts with that pass.
And Boberts to the inside. Look at this! McQueen back to the inside.
Oh my! This is heating up right here. And Eternium is right there. He is not letting up. He wants to stay in the mix.
And Eternium
you gotta wonder what's going
wide.
through McQueen's mind. How do you save gas when you're racing? Will he pit? I'm gonna say no.
He stays out. There's nothing. He's trying to put on a show here. I don't know if he can hold on. This is going to be interesting. And Aerox Breeze, you see right there as well. He's a lap. Look at this. Boberts to the inside. You got to think. McQueen's got to think about fuel saving.
Eternium on the inside as well.
But McQueen's not just done yet. You know McQueen's tire where it's going. Look at this.
3
wide. To the inside. Oh. And the outside. Boberts went to the inside. Eternium went to the outside. Now they're side by side down the straightaway. Eternium to the inside. Eternium will take over the 2nd position. McQueen's not backing off just yet. Taps Boberts. Boberts is the lead.
Oh my gosh. Like, he has 90% wear on the front right, 86% wear on the front left.
And on my screen, he's running out of fuel.
Oh.
He's going to have to make the pit.
He's 0.
He's not going to be able to complete the final lap of this race.
You can see me right now, guys. I have my hands on my head as I commentate this race and watch. This has been fun racing.
And McQueen, it looks like he's finally out of fuel. Listening to the car, he sounds like he's just coasting. And to the pit road he goes. So Boberts gonna have to chase down Eternium, but with the final lap of the race leader, he's led every lap since the green flag has dropped. Vettel in the Bentley, one of the few this week, showing that this car is underrated to the majority of the population. Now, I talked to a few guys that love this car, and they say a lot of people don't like it because they don't think it's a well put together car according to the game standards. And right now, Vettel has rocked this car all night long.
He beat every Jaguar here tonight, and there are 12 out of 20 cars in the Jaguar GT3 XK. They just got whooped by the only Continental on the track.
And Merck setting the fastest time of 120.444. The pole sitter just hasn't had the race he won. He's currently in 7th. And coming around the final 2 turns, getting his first MEA victory ever, and his first victory of the season, Aerox Merckx will win at Homestead. Following him, ITI Eternium, after a rough week number 1, will finish 2nd right behind him. And Boberts working on the 3rd spot. Now Zombie Gutkill looks like he's currently in a battle with PXM Karts. Those 2 guys come off the line here as they'll finish 4th and 5th, so those 2 drivers, one heck of a race. Katie coming home in 6th after a rough week 1. Right behind her, Aerox Merck in 7th. Markey coming home in 8th. Right behind Markey, it looks like Mex Senna. And we got Mex Senna, we got a whole herd of cars as McQueen will finish in 10th. Sir Lagalot will finish 11th. SSR Hillbilly, after a rough race, will finish 11th. Aerox Boket 12th. Or I'm sorry, 13th. SSR Nicole finishing 14th. She ran a consistent race. She'll finish 14th. Aerox Breeze, last week's winner. Just what a rough week it was for him. as he will finish 15th.
Yeah. So you got to think Servy's gutted too. 4 laps left to get a disconnect. I mean, Aerox had some good stuff happen to him today, but they were kind of gutted by a couple things.
All right, so we're going to pull the top 5 in here momentarily as Breeze gets ready to finish his race. So just like that, Aerox Vettel will take the win in week number 2. So we'll get a moment here, so just stay tuned as we'll pull in the top 5 drivers of week number 2. And you just need one more driver, and we'll be able to get underway here. I think I'm missing Zombie, so that's who we're missing. Got Eternium in here. All right, so I sent a message or an invite to all 5 drivers, and as the drivers enter the party, we'll be getting interviews underway here momentarily, so just hang with us tight as we pull them in. Vettel now coming in as well. We got Bobberts, Karts, and Eternium, so we're just waiting on Zombie Gutkill to enter the party. So once Zombie gets in here, we can begin the process. And B-Lobby, just got word that B-Lobby just finished as well, so both lobbies finishing up. And for you guys that are just joining the broadcast booth, please turn on your audio so that people can hear. And once again, to everybody that's been watching, what a week 2 race here as Aerox Vettel takes home the victory. And right before we do get anything, we want to give one more shout out to Six Brewing Company in Toronto, Canada, who has been showcasing this race up in their company. So glad to have you guys. Hope you all have enjoyed this. But we're going to get interviews underway, and we're going to start with 5th place PXM Karts. And Karts, and just one more time, let you guys know, make sure your party audio is on. But Karts, what a race it was for you. It was kind of a quiet race for a while. You had a battle between SSR Katie for a while. You got out there with Zombie. Just take us through your race, and I'm sure you're a lot more satisfied this week than with last week.
Yeah, it was a pretty calm race. I was trying towards the end, it didn't work out, but I kind of got lucky with one in front of me going bad.
And last week you qualified, I believe, the B lobby, so this week you made it known that you wanted to be an A. You got into A. You started a little further back, but you battled your way up through the field. It's got to feel good getting the top 5 finish.
Yep.
Well, congratulations to PXM Cars for Phoenix Motorsports as he finishes 5th here today at week number 2 at Homestead. Moving up the list, and a familiar face, but hasn't been around for about probably half a year, Zombie Gutkill makes his return, and Zombie, after last week, early disconnect, this week you come back, you get a decent qualifying position, you stay consistent, and you were very quiet most of the race. It's got to feel good to get in here, get back to through the motions, and not only that, but finish in the top 5.
I am quite happily surprised I got the top 5. Looking at my quali, I was not expecting anything in the top 10, so I'm considering this a win in my books, but pure luck, I would say. A lot of DCs and a lot of incidents, and without those incidents, I would have probably been 8th, 9th, 10th.
And you know, Zombie, last week, early outing, obviously something you didn't want to do, and we haven't seen you for quite some time. You're a return from Season 1, and coming from Season 1 to Season 2, what seems to be the biggest difference between the 2 seasons?
You don't have to really do that much like data searching, I guess, to see what car can make a whole race distance without pitting. This race, I mean, this season, it's mandatory pit stop, so that factor doesn't have to come into play, so there's less stress to figure out what car is the best car. But yeah.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on a top 5, and we'll see what you can do next, because you had a very consistent race tonight. And moving up the ladder, SSR Bobberts, you started about mid-pack. It seemed like the entire race you were involved in some type of battle. There was tons of battles all over, especially in the back of the pack from 10th on. At the end there, you're working around McQueen. McQueen really on the fence of fuel at the end, and You finally got around him. Eternium got to the inside of you. You got a little loose with a little tap from McQueen, but you battled all race long in the top 3. You can't be mad about that.
I'm mad and not mad at the same time because, to be honest, I shouldn't even really be third because Servi should be finishing ahead. He ran a great race and it was just a shame that he disconnected. But you know, my strategy was to pit early as possible to get the clean air, which helped because it made me get ahead of Marky as well before he disconnected. So I was happy with the pace. I was happy with the battle at the end. It was fantastic, I thought. Honestly, I thought I could have tried to defend Eternity into the right-hander, but he just got alongside, so I didn't want to shove him off because or else that had just caused a pile up as such. So, and then as you said, yeah, got a little tap by McQueen, which stopped any chance of then getting a run back up. But you know, it was a great race, and I'll take third any day.
And you know, it was a great race indeed, and very unfortunate for Aerox Servi, defending champion, not the way he definitely want to go out. Was on a mission for sure, so definitely disappointing to see him disconnect there late in the race. But nonetheless, congratulations on a third place finish, Bobberts. And moving up, we get to the second place driver, the runner-up of tonight's week 2, ITI Eternium. And Eternium, I gotta ask you, from week 1 to week 2, last week it just didn't seem like anything was clicking for you. You were battling all race long. You're at the back of the pack, trying to get through the field at Bathurst. This week you get a really good qualifying spot. I don't think you dropped any further back than maybe 5th or 6th at one point of the race, other than maybe making a pit stop. You had your fair share of battles. You got that one little edge there at the end to finish top 2, and it's got to feel a lot better coming off of a week like last week to finish inside the top 5 this week.
Yeah, I didn't expect this result because, well, I expect at least a top 10 qualify, but I got a 4th and then a 2nd place. So
and you know,
very motivated, and I got a very hot race.
and it definitely was, and it was a lot of fun to watch. You were in quite a bit of a battle. Just take us through some of those battles. And not sure. Oh, and I got kicked out of the lobby. So wonderful. Well, it looks like Eternium's connection disconnected. So we'll move up the ladder to Vettel. But congratulations to Eternium on a top 5 finish here tonight, nonetheless. And then Vettel, we got to get to you next here. What a race it was for you. It was a lot of pretty much nothing. You pretty much got in front, ran away with it, ran very consistently, and showed everybody that Bentley was worth driving here tonight. And does Vettel have his mic on? Well, looks like I don't know. I think Vettel might have walked away from his device. We might not be able to get to talk to Vettel. But I'm also having an issue getting back into the race lobby as well. So.
I got Steve. Steve, it's only you and me that's connected into the party. Nobody else is.
Well, what we're going to do is
we're
going to back out really quickly here. We're going to try to get Aerox Vettel back into the party, but nonetheless, looks like we're having some connection issues here late, which better that it's now than later, that's for sure. So once we get back in, we'll be able to talk it out with everybody. So here we go. We're getting people back into the party. No problem. No problem whatsoever. So as Eternium disconnected out, looked like it disconnected all of us out. So we're just getting everything ready. But nonetheless, congratulations on to Eternium for a 2nd place finish here tonight. And going to the race winner, Aerox Vettel. Vettel, tonight you took off from the beginning to end. You never looked back. Take us through your race. I mean, it was pretty much set in stone for you as long as you kept it on the track and ran hard. It looked like no one was going to catch you. And then you had your teammate Servi really hunting everybody down. Unfortunately for him, he disconnected. Just take us through your race.
Yeah. I guess going into the rounds, there was a lot of gags entered, and clearly at the pace I knew if I had any chance, I'd have to push on lap 1, and fortunately the opportunity came and I took it. Yeah, I was really surprised at the fighting toward the back. It allowed me to kind of skip away for a bit. And then, yeah, Kirby seemed like he was having a really good race. I think we were matching pace at times. And, yeah, massive shame for the team. I mean, I think there was a point where it was myself, Kirby, and McQueen in that order. And for McQueen to have to take the extra stop earlier in the race, and for Kirby to DC like that, I mean, I think the team deserved a lot better today. But in terms of my own race, the consistency was definitely there. It was always within, you know, maybe a tenth or two of my time. I think I only really had one noticeable error, and it only cost me like a second a lap. So yeah, pretty happy about my own personal race, but it's a real shame for the team. There were some guys here that came with, so I feel for that.
Well, we definitely feel for definitely all those guys that had disconnect here tonight. It looks like we're having connection issues now, so we'll be getting off here very shortly. But congratulations on your first victory in MEA and your victory here tonight, as you've done it in dominant fashion.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And we're gonna, unfortunately, I was gonna let you. I was gonna let you talk, Izzy. But yes, congratulations, Eternium. Sorry that the disconnection was at the end, but. Thank you all for watching week number 2. It was an exciting week of MEA as the GT series is really unfolding here early, but it seems like it could be any race, anybody's season. So, Izzy, any thoughts after the race tonight?
I had a blast watching everybody race. Once again, we saw an Aerox driver come in here, and once they took first position, they kept it and they dominated from start to finish. And to see the only Continental in the series tonight doing in dominant fashion was pretty cool too. So it was fun, guys. I appreciate it.
From the drivers to from the commentary booth, we wish you all a great night, and we'll see you next week as MEA will take on week number 3 in the GT Championship Series. We wish you all farewell and good night.